Want to earn money while you sleep? Check out these 9 passive income ideas that can help you build real wealth. Welcome to a space where we share secrets, strategies, and tools to help you create a life you love. So let's grow and succeed together.
Oh, yeah. That's the dream, isn't it? That idea of, earning money without trading your time directly for it.
Yeah,
Financial freedom, basically.
absolutely. And that's exactly the deep dive we're doing today. We've got this huge stack of resources we've been digging into, detailing 9 really specific ways people are generating income that isn't tied hour by hour to their work.
Right.
And importantly, we're not just going to list them off. We're actually assessing each one using a specific matrix. We want to measure how hard it is to actually start, you know?
Mhm.
And then what's the effort needed to hit a real tangible goal, let's say $100 a month? And finally, what kind of long-term upkeep or maintenance is involved?
Yeah, and okay, before we even get into the first idea, we have to talk about the term passive income. The resources, they're super clear on this. It needs air quotes, really, because there's just no such thing as making money doing absolutely nothing. That's not real. What we mean here is income that isn't directly tied to your active time right now.
Okay, so like royalties. You write a book once, it keeps selling.
Exactly. Or, rent from a property you own or returns from investments you made ages ago. The work was definitely done, but it was done up front.
That's such a crucial point because you see all these things online, right? These schemes promising instant riches,
Oh, yeah. Get rich quick.
crypto things, weird gambling systems, ads yelling about making thousands tomorrow.
And the data is just unequivocal. It's a scam. Every single time. You'll lose your money. Full stop.
So the fundamental truth, and this echoes through all the materials, is that the only way to make any money, passive or active, is by providing actual value to someone else.
Absolutely. Passive income is just structuring that value delivery so it doesn't need you standing there minute by minute to make it happen.
It's shifting from trading hours for dollars
Yeah.
to trading a big chunk of upfront effort, maybe even years of effort,
Often years, yeah.
for something that can potentially pay you back over the long haul. The potential reward is big, but that initial commitment, it's serious.
It really is.
Okay, so let's lock down this matrix we mentioned. 3 things we're rating for each idea on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. 1 is easiest, 5 is hardest.
Got it.
First, difficulty of starting, just getting off the ground.
Okay.
Second, difficulty of making that first $100 a month, that concrete milestone.
Right. The first real return.
And third, difficulty of maintenance, how much ongoing effort is needed once it's set up.
Makes sense. Start, earn, maintain.
And just to give a little context, a little glimpse of the potential here, the creator whose strategies we're analyzing, their current income from these 9 methods combined, it's around $27,000 a week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's substantial.
It is. And this is but they stress it took 8 years to build up to that level.
8 years. Okay, so definitely not overnight.
Not even close. It's a long game. So our focus today isn't really the 27K. It's showing you how you might actually hit that first $100 a month target. That's the starting block.
Makes sense. Manage expectations. Start small, build from there.
All right, let's dive into the first one. This is the path that, well, it requires the least time effort, but the most capital. Idea number 1, investing in stocks and shares.
Yeah, this is kind of the baseline, isn't it, for passive income? The value you're providing here is essentially money. You give your capital to companies so they can operate and grow.
And you expect something back for that risk.
Exactly. You expect a return either through the stock price going up, capital appreciation, or through dividends, which are like small profit shares paid out.
And compared to just leaving cash in a standard savings account earning, what, 0.01% these days?
If you're lucky. Yeah, moving that money into the stock market is pretty much the quickest, easiest way to start generating some kind of passive return, however small initially.
Which is why, on our matrix, the difficulty of starting gets just 1 out of 5 stars. It's very easy. It's super easy. You just need to sign up with a stockbroker. There are loads of options depending on where you are. You've got the big established ones like Vanguard, Great for low-cost index funds.
Newer platforms.
Yeah, or the more sort of app-based ones like Webull or Free Trade. They make the user interface really simple. The actual process of opening an account and buying shares. Minimal technical skill needed, assuming you have the money to invest, of course.
And what about maintaining it once you're in?
Also, 1 out of 5 stars for difficulty and maintenance. Because if you adopt a sensible long-term strategy, and we're talking investing here, not frantic day trading.
Right, big difference.
Huge difference. The best approach, honestly, is often just set it and forget it. Buy regularly, maybe rebalance once a year, but the week-to-week effort, basically zero.
Okay, so for someone who wants that set it and forget it approach, who doesn't want to become a stock market guru, what's the recommended strategy?
Well, the resources consistently point towards index funds, particularly funds that track major market indices like the S&P 500 in the U.S.
The S&P 500. Can you just quickly break that down for listeners who might not be familiar? Why is that safer than just picking, say, Apple or Tesla stock?
Sure. So the S&P 500 tracks the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States. When you buy shares in an S&P 500 index fund, your money, let's say $1,000, gets automatically spread across all 500 of those companies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it's usually weighted by size. So maybe 5% of your money goes into Apple, 4% into Microsoft, 3% into Amazon, and tiny fractions into all the others.
So if one company has a really bad year.
Exactly. If one company tanks, it doesn't wipe you out because its poor performance is buffered by the other 499 companies in the fund. It smooths out the ride massively compared to betting on individual stocks. Much lower risk over the long term.
Okay, that makes sense. Diversification built in. Now, let's talk about hitting that $100 a month target. You rated this a 3 out of 5 for difficulty. Why the jump?
Right, this is where the numbers and, frankly, the need for capital come in. It's a bit of a hurdle. If we look at the historical average, and big disclaimer, past performance never guarantees future results.
Always the disclaimer.
Always. But historically, the S&P 500 has returned around 10% per year, on average, over long periods. That's before inflation, mind you.
Okay, 10% a year.
So if you want to earn $100 a month, purely from those returns, that's $1,200 a year. You'd need to have about $12,000 invested.
$12,000. Okay, yeah, that definitely explains the 35 difficulty. That's a decent chunk of change for someone just starting out.
It is. And that $12,000 calculation assumes you're taking the $100 out each month or $1,200 out each year.
Ah, but what if you don't take it out? What if you leave it in there?
Exactly. Now we get to the magic ingredient, compounding. And we really need to unpack this because it's like the engine of long-term wealth building.
Explain compounding.
Okay, so compounding means the returns you earn, whether it's dividends paid out or the value of your shares increasing, they get automatically reinvested. They buy more shares for you.
So in year 2.
In year 2, you're not just earning returns on your original investment, you're also earning returns on the returns from year 1. And year 3, returns on returns on returns. It snowballs.
Okay, so the money you earn starts earning its own money.
Precisely. Your money starts working for you. And this dramatically changes the calculation for hitting that $100 a month goal if you have time on your side.
How so? How much does it reduce the initial amount needed?
Well, the source material runs some numbers. If you could invest, say, $7,500 and just leave it completely untouched, letting it compound at that theoretical 10% average, you could potentially reach a point where it's generating $100 a month in passive income within about 5 years.
5 years with $7,500. Okay, that's already much better than $12,000 needed right now.
And if you stretch the timeline out to 10 years, you might only need about $5,000 invested today to hit that same $100 a month passive income goal, thanks to the power of compounding over that decade.
Wow, okay. That really lowers the barrier to entry significantly if you can be patient.
Patience is absolutely key. And the other non-negotiable condition is this has to be money you genuinely don't need to touch for at least 5 to 10 years, preferably longer.
Right, because the market will go up and down in the short term. You need time to ride out those dips.
Absolutely. You're trading immediate access to that cash for the almost guaranteed effects of time and compounding growth.
And just to bring it home, the creator whose work we're looking at, their own portfolio, started in 2015.
Yeah, they mentioned it's now worth around $350,000. And assuming that same 10% average return, that principal amount is generating something like $682 per week in purely passive income.
682 dollars a week
Yeah.
from investments.
It shows how it starts slow, feels like you're getting nowhere for ages, but stick with it consistently over years, and the growth becomes incredibly powerful. Its long-term reliability is pretty much unmatched.
Okay, let's shift gears now. Moving away from purely capital-based income to things that require building an audience, trading your time and creativity for attention. First up, starting a YouTube channel.
Right. And immediately, you see a massive shift in the Matrix ratings. Difficulty starting, still 1 out of 5 stars.
Because anyone can do it, technically.
Anyone with a smartphone can record and upload a video right now. Super simple.
Yeah.
But difficulty of making $100 a month, that jumps way up to 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, a 45. That's tough. And that difficulty, it's not really about the tech, is it? It's about something else.
Not at all about the tech anymore. It's about the sheer competition and the difficulty of making good videos. Videos that actually capture attention, keep people watching, get them to subscribe, and, crucially, get recommended by the YouTube algorithm. Starting is easy, succeeding is incredibly hard.
And there are actual hurdles just to get monetized, right? You don't just start earning from day one.
No way. To even be eligible for YouTube's AdSense program, that's the system that puts ads on your videos and pays you a share, you need to hit 2 thresholds: 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months.
1,000 subs and 4,000 hours. How long does that typically take?
Well, the creator we're studying, it took them 6 months and 52 videos, which is actually pretty fast.
52 videos before earning anything?
Potentially, yeah. And the average data suggests it's often much slower. Many sources say it takes the average creator over 90 videos just to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark.
90 videos.
Wow. So realistically, you should probably expect to commit to making videos consistently, like once a week, for at least 1 to 2 years before you see any significant monetary return at all.
That sustained effort with zero reward for potentially years. That feels like the real 45 difficulty barrier. It's psychological grit.
Absolutely. You have to love the process itself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say you clear those hurdles. How do you hit the $100 a month target just from AdSense?
Yeah, what are the numbers?
Well, the average revenue from ads across all types of content is roughly $2 per 1,000 views. This is often called the CPM, or RPM more accurately, revenue per mil.
$2 per 1,000 views.
Ish. It varies wildly by niche, audience location, video length, loads of factors. But let's use $2 as a general benchmark. To earn $100 a month, you need 50,000 views across your channel every single month.
50,000 views a month. Okay. If you're uploading, say, 1 video a week, that means each video needs to get about 12,500 views that month.
Roughly, yeah. Or your older videos need to consistently bring in views.
Right.
Now, how big an audience do you need to reliably get 12,500 views on a new video?
Good question. What's a conversion like?
Industry benchmarks suggest maybe 20% of your subscribers will watch a new video within the first week or so. And honestly, 20% view to subscriber ratio is often quite optimistic, especially as channels grow.
Okay, so if we use 20% to get 12,500 views.
You'd need around 62,500 subscribers.
Just 62,000 subscribers just to make $100 a month passively from ads.
Yep. That number really clarifies why it's a 4 out of 5 difficulty rating, doesn't it? The scale required for even modest passive income from ads alone is huge.
It really does. It seems almost disproportionate.
Right.
All that effort to build 60K subs for $100 a month. Are there not, like, better ways to make money once you have even a smaller audience?
That's a very good point. And yes, absolutely. That $100 target we calculated is purely based on passive AdSense income from views.
Okay.
Most creators making a living aren't relying just on AdSense. They're doing brand deals, selling merchandise, promoting their own courses or products.
Right.
But those tend to be active income streams. They require negotiation, fulfillment, ongoing work.
Right, not strictly passive.
Exactly. The truly passive part of YouTube income really kicks in later once you have a substantial back catalog of videos, especially evergreen videos that stay relevant for years. Those videos just sit there racking up views and ad revenue long after you uploaded them.
So the Source channel making $12,000 a month now.
Yeah, about $3,000 a week passively from AdSense. They emphasize that the bulk of that 12K actually comes from older videos, stuff uploaded years ago, not just the latest uploads.
Okay, so that explains the maintenance rating. It's only 2 out of 5 stars.
Right, because once that library of content exists, it becomes the asset. It keeps working for you, generating views, generating revenue, without you needing to constantly tinker with those specific old videos. The main effort is creating new content.
The library is the asset.
Got it. Okay, next idea. Starting a podcast.
Right. Number 3, matrix scores here. Start difficulty, still easy, 15. Making $100 a month drops a bit to 35. Maintenance, same as YouTube, 25. Why is making the $100 slightly easier at 35 compared to YouTube's 45?
Well, it's mainly down to the monetization model. But first, the starting part. Podcasting can be technically simpler than video. Getting decent audio quality is generally less involved than getting good video, lighting, editing, etc.
Okay. Easier barrier to entry on the tech side.
Potentially, yeah. But the flip side is growth. It's usually harder to grow a podcast audience organically.
Why is that?
Because the major podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, they don't really have the same kind of powerful recommendation algorithm that YouTube has.
Yeah.
YouTube is constantly pushing new videos to viewers. Podcasts rely more on word of mouth, social media promotion,
Or having a YouTube channel to promote the podcast.
Exactly. A lot of big podcasters use their YouTube presence specifically to drive people to their audio show. Discovery is a bigger challenge in podcasting.
Okay, so growth is harder. How does the monetization work if there's no equivalent to AdSense?
Yeah, no automatic ad system for most podcasters. Monetization primarily comes from sponsorships or brand deals. You partner with a brand, read out their ad message in your show.
And how are those deals typically structured?
Usually based on downloads per episode using that same CPM model, cost per mil or cost per thousand listens. Standard industry rates are hovering around, say, $18 for a 30-second ad slot, or maybe $25 for a 60-second slot per 1,000 downloads of that episode.
Okay, $18 to $25 per 1,000 downloads. So to hit our $100 a month target, purely from sponsors, what kind of download numbers do you need?
You generally need to be hitting around 1,000 downloads per episode consistently.
1,000 downloads per episode?
Yeah. If you have a weekly show that's 4,000 downloads a month across your new episodes, once you reach that kind of volume, you become attractive enough to sponsors to potentially secure deals that would add up to $100 a month or more.
Is hitting 1,000 downloads per episode like a standard thing for new podcasts?
Oh, definitely not. It's a significant milestone. Statistics show that only about the top 20% of all podcasts globally ever achieve more than 1,000 downloads per episode.
Top 20%. Wow. Okay.
So it requires real persistence and quality content to break into that tier. The source material actually mentions a friend who started a podcast 5 months ago. They're getting about 400, 500 downloads per episode, which is actually decent progress from zero. But it shows it's a slow climb.
So the 35 difficulty reflects needing fewer listeners than YouTube's 60K subs for ads. But hitting that 1K download milestone is still a real challenge.
Exactly. It's achievable, but requires sustained effort and likely some smart promotion.
And the Creator's Own podcast, how's that doing?
Theirs is making around $625 per week, they say. That's from a mix of brand deals and also some listener membership or subscription element. Shows the scaling potential is definitely there once you build that loyal audience.
That reliability, that consistent audience number, that's what sponsors are buying, right?
Precisely. Predictable reach.
Okay, fourth idea in this audience building section, affiliate marketing. This is selling other people's stuff and getting a cut.
Yep. The ratings. Start difficulty is 25. Making $100 a month is 3.55. Maintenance is 25.
Why 25 for starting? Slightly harder than just uploading a video.
Slightly, yeah. You need to actually apply to affiliate programs. Amazon Associates is the classic example. You sign up, get approved, and then they give you special tracking links to use. It's not hard, but it's an extra step compared to just hitting upload.
Makes sense. And the 3.55 for hitting $100 a month, that feels like it's about getting people to actually click and buy through your links.
Exactly. That's the core challenge. You need traffic, and you need that traffic to trust your recommendation enough to convert. The potential is huge. Apparently, 48% of global affiliate marketers earn over $20,000 a year, but getting started is tough.
Let's look at the numbers. If you're promoting, say, stuff on Amazon, the commissions are pretty low, right? Like 2 or 3%.
Often even lower these days, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 1-5% depending on the category. So imagine you recommend a $50 book. Let's be generous and say you get a 5% commission. That's only $2.50 per sale.
$2.50. Okay.
Now, let's assume a typical conversion rate for affiliate links, maybe 1%. That means for every 100 people who click your special link, only one person actually buys the book.
1% conversion. That sounds low.
It's pretty standard for broad traffic, maybe a bit higher for highly targeted traffic. But using 1% to make $100 a month for that $2.50 commission, you'd need 40 sales. And to get 40 sales at a 1% conversion rate, you need 4,000 clicks on your link per month.
4,000 clicks just for $100 on low commission products. Where does that traffic come from?
That's the million-dollar question. It has to come from somewhere. Usually a popular blog, a YouTube channel, a social media following, an email list. You need an audience or significant domain authority.
Okay, we need to define domain authority. What's that?
It's basically a score search engines, well, search analysis companies, use to predict how well a website will rank in search results. It's built up over time through having lots of high-quality content, getting links from other reputable sites, the age of your site, lots of factors.
So high domain authority means your articles recommending products show up high in Google searches.
Exactly. And people find your recommendations organically, maybe years after you first wrote the article containing the affiliate link. That's where the passive element comes in.
Okay, so the 3.55 difficulty isn't generating the link, it's generating the audience and authority to get enough clicks and conversions passively over time.
Precisely. Now, contrast that low commission model with something that pays higher commissions. The example used is Skillshare's affiliate program.
Right, the online learning platform.
Yeah. They apparently pay around $7 in commission for every person who signs up for a free trial using your link.
$7 per free trial. Okay, that's much better than $2.50 for a $50 sale.
Way better. So to make $100 a month with a $7 commission, you only need about 15 people to sign up for a free trial each month.
15 signups. That sounds significantly more achievable, especially if you have a smaller but maybe more engaged or targeted audience.
It absolutely is. But even needing 15 signups reinforces the core advice that runs through all these audience-based methods in the source material.
Which is
Build the audience first. Create genuinely useful, valuable content, blog posts, videos, podcast episodes, whatever fits you. Put it out there for free, consistently, maybe once a week. And commit to doing that for at least 2 years. Then think about monetization like affiliate links. The audience and trust have to come first.
content first, monetization second, and do it consistently for years.
That seems to be the common thread for success.
And the maintenance for affiliate marketing is 25. Why?
Because once you've created a piece of content, say, a blog post reviewing a product with your affiliate link, if that content is evergreen, meaning it stays relevant and ranks well in search engines, it can continue generating clicks and commissions for years with very little additional work from you. Maybe you update the links occasionally, but the article itself keeps working.
So the asset is the content plus the links ranking, and the creator's numbers show this works.
Well, yeah, they mentioned making $2,750 per week from Skillshare affiliates alone. That's huge, and about $450 per month just from Amazon links embedded in their older content. Shows the power of combining a large audience with relevant affiliate offers.
Okay, let's move into what seems like the potentially most lucrative area based on the creator's income. Building scalable digital assets, starting with number 5, selling digital products.
Right, so digital products are things you create once, but can sell over and over again, basically infinitely, with near zero cost for each additional sale. Think ebooks, downloadable guides, software presets, website themes, maybe even stock photos.
Create once, sell many times, the ultimate leverage.
Exactly. The ratings here are start difficulty 25, making 100 month is 35, and maintenance is 25.
Okay, why only 35 difficulty for making $100? Isn't the market for things like ebooks or templates super crowded?
It is crowded if you make generic stuff, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the 35 reflect that if you identify a really specific problem that a particular group of people has, and you create a high-quality digital product that solves that specific problem well, people will pay for it.
So it's about finding a niche.
Finding a niche, finding a pain point, and offering a genuinely valuable solution. The difficulty isn't so much in the creation of the product, though it needs to be good. It's in identifying that viable market opportunity, that intersection of your skills and what people actually need and are willing to pay to fix.
The examples given are pretty compelling, like Traff selling iOS icon sets.
Yeah, that was amazing timing and execution. iOS 14 came out, allowed custom icons, people wanted cool-looking home screens, but it was fiddly to do. He made beautiful pre-packaged icon sets, solved that specific desire, made something like $300,000 in a few weeks.
Wow, that's incredible. One product, perfect timing.
Or the other example, Olier. He built a reputation for design, then started selling premium website themes he created. He's apparently made $700,000 total from those themes since 2014.
700,000 from website themes?
Yeah, because each theme represents hours and hours of design and development work saved for the buyer. They're paying for his expertise packaged into a product that they can use instantly. It's a clear value exchange.
So if I create, say, a really useful Notion template for project management and I sell it for $20,
Right.
I only need to sell 5 copies a month to hit that $100 target.
Exactly. 5 sales. If you can reach the right audience who feels the pain that your template solves, 5 sales a month seems very achievable, doesn't it? Much more so than getting 4,000 clicks on an Amazon link.
Definitely. So the core principle again, find a problem, solve it well with your product, charge a fair price.
That's the essence of it. And maintenance is 25 because, yeah, you might need to update the product occasionally, maybe update the Notion template if Notion changes, or fix a bug in a theme, but the main creation effort is done up front.
Right.
The product itself is the asset.
Okay, now, for what the source material seems to suggest is potentially the single most powerful passive income stream for the creator personally. Number 6, creating an online course.
Yeah, this one seems to be their biggest winner. The ratings are actually the same as digital products. Start 25, on 100 month is 35, maintenance 25.
2 out of 5 for starting. Is creating a whole course really that easy?
Well, easy is a relative, but the barrier to entry technically is low. You don't need a Hollywood film crew. You can genuinely film decent quality video lessons using just your smartphone and some basic editing software. The content needs to be excellent, obviously, but the production barrier is lower than ever.
Okay, so the tech isn't the main hurdle. Making the $100 a month rated 35. How does that work? Does it depend on where you sell the course?
Hugely depends on the platform and pricing. If you decide to host the course yourself on your own website and you price it at, say, $100.
Then you only need 1 sale a month.
1 sale. Sounds easy, right?
Yeah.
But the catch is, you are then 100% responsible for finding that one customer. You have to do all the marketing, drive all the traffic, handle payments, everything.
Right. That sounds like a lot of active work.
It is, which is why the source material really highlights the advantages of using a platform, specifically a subscription platform like Skillshare.
How does Skillshare work differently?
With Skillshare, you upload your course, but you don't charge students directly. Students pay Skillshare a monthly or annual subscription for access to all courses on the platform. Then, Skillshare pays you, the creator, based on how many minutes of your courses their premium members watch each month.
Oh, okay. So you get paid based on engagement, not direct sales.
Exactly. It's based on minutes watched by premium members.
Yeah.
This avoids the constant pressure of having to make individual sales yourself.
So how many minutes watched do you need to earn that $100 target on Skillshare?
Based on the creator's own experience and reported payout rates, to earn $100 a month from Skillshare, you need roughly 1,700 premium member minutes watched across all your classes that month.
1,700 minutes. How many hours is that?
That's about 28 hours of total watch time.
28 hours. Okay. So if I create a really solid, maybe 2-hour-long course on a specific skill,
Yeah.
I'd need about 14 premium students to watch my entire course that month to hit $100.
That's the math, basically. 14 students completing your 2-hour class. And when you frame it like that, if your course is genuinely good and teaches something people want to learn, finding 14 engaged viewers a month through a platform like Skillshare seems, well, quite possible.
Especially compared to needing 60,000 YouTube subs or 4,000 Amazon clicks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the other big advantage Skillshare offers, according to the source. It has its own internal discovery algorithm.
Ah, like YouTube.
Sort of, yeah.
Mhm.
High-quality courses, the ones that students are actually watching all the way through and rating well, tend to get promoted more by the platform itself.
So Skillshare actively helps good courses find an audience.
It seems so. This means that even if you start with zero audience of your own, if you create an exceptionally valuable course that really resonates with students, the platform itself can act as your distribution engine, helping you get those minutes watched and pushing you towards that $100 threshold and potentially way beyond.
And way beyond seems to be the case for the creator here.
Oh, absolutely. This is reportedly their highest earnings stream. Their Skillshare classes combined are generating between $60,000 and $65,000 per month.
$60,000 a month from online courses.
That's what they report, which works out to over $15,000 per week just from Skillshare. And they say it's almost entirely passive now.
What's the maintenance involved for that kind of income? Still 25?
Apparently, yeah. The main ongoing work is just replying to student comments or questions in the course discussion sections and maybe mentioning their popular courses in new YouTube videos or other content they produce. The courses themselves, the core assets, just keep earning.
That is staggering. It really shows the incredible scaling power of creating a high-value digital asset like a course. Create it once, potentially earn from it for years at massive scale.
It seems to be the pinnacle of the create once, sell often model discussed. Okay, so the final three ideas we're looking at generally fall into a category requiring either a really significant pre-existing audience or just a huge amount of upfront technical skill or business building effort.
Right, these seem like the heavy lifts. Let's start with number 7, building a paid membership or community.
Yep. The matrix ratings here are interesting. Starting difficulty is only 15.
Because setting up, say, a Patreon page or a community forum is technically easy.
Exactly. Platforms like Patreon, Memberful, Circle, they make the tech side very straightforward, but then difficulty of making $100 a month shoots up to 45, and maintenance is also higher at 35.
Okay, why the big jump in difficulty for earning and the higher maintenance?
It comes down to the value proposition. A digital product or a course is usually a one-time transaction for a specific outcome. A membership or community implies ongoing value. People are paying you every single month, so you need to constantly provide something compelling enough to make them want to stay subscribed.
It's not a single asset. It's a continuous service or relationship.
Precisely. The income might feel passive because it's recurring, but the effort required to maintain the value that justifies that recurring payment is often quite active. That's the 35 maintenance.
And the 45 difficulty for hitting $100, is that mostly about needing a big audience to start with?
That's often the case, yeah. The typical route relies on converting existing fans. The source uses the example of YouTuber Hannah Witten. She has like 600,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Huge audience.
It's massive. But she only has around 626 patrons on Patreon supporting her.
600 out of 600,000. That's a tiny conversion rate, like 1 in 1,000.
Exactly. It shows that even with a huge top-of-funnel audience, converting them to paid members is hard. You need that massive scale for the small percentage who convert to add up to significant income. That's one path to $100 a month sheer volume.
But is there another way? What if you don't have 600,000 followers?
Well, they notes also highlight what they call the value first route. The example is Anne-Laura Lecomte from Nest Labs.
Okay.
She apparently started with basically zero audience. But she focused intensely on writing incredibly deep, high-quality articles, like 100 of them, building unique expertise and authority in her niche of mindful productivity.
So content first, building authority.
Right. Then, once she had established that undeniable value and attracted a core following based on it, she launched a paid membership community, priced initially at just $5 a month.
And how did that go?
Amazingly well. Because the value was so clear and unique, she apparently hit $100,000 in annual recurring revenue in less than 2 years.
Wow. Okay, so you can do it without a giant pre-existing audience, but only if the value you offer is exceptionally high and justifies that recurring fee from day one.
Exactly. It proves irreplaceable value can sometimes trump initial scale.
Mm.
But the upfront effort to create that level of value through, say, 100 deep blog posts, that's immense.
And the creator's own membership community, the part-timer YouTuber thing.
Yeah. They mentioned it generates about $2,800 a week. Good income, but they are very clear. It is not very passive.
Why not?
Because they run multiple live events every week, daily co-working sessions, constant community management. It's very high touch to provide the value members expect. The more interactive and service-based the community, the less passive the income stream becomes.
Okay, that makes sense. Higher maintenance for higher engagement. Let's move to number 8. Creating a delegated or automated business.
Right. This is kind of the classic Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week idea, isn't it?
Build a business, then remove yourself from the day-to-day operations.
Exactly. Create a business that sells a product or a service, get it profitable, and then systematically delegate tasks to staff or automate processes using software until your own time involvement is minimal, but the income continues.
The ratings reflect the difficulty here. 45 for starting, 45 for making $100 a month, and 35 for maintenance. This looks tough all around.
It is tough because it's really two massive projects back to back.
Right.
First, you have the huge challenge of just building a successful, profitable business from scratch. Finding product market fit, dealing with suppliers, marketing, customer service, all that stuff. That's the first 45 difficulty.
Just getting the business to work at all.
Right. Then, assuming you succeed at that, you have the second challenge.
Right.
Successfully removing yourself from the operations without the whole thing collapsing. This means hiring and managing effectively or becoming really good at using automation tools like Zapier to connect different software and handle workflows automatically. That's the second 45.
Okay, so 2 layers of significant difficulty.
Yep. The example given is Olier again, with his separate business selling vegan leather accessories on Shopify. It's apparently $1 million store.
Wow. Is that passive for him?
Reasonably passive for him, yes, but only because he built the brand and products and then hired a team of 3 people to handle the day-to-day operations, order fulfillment, customer service, marketing execution.
So he delegated heavily.
Exactly. He still puts in about 10 hours a week, apparently, overseeing the team, planning strategy, making key decisions. So it's not zero work, that's the 35 maintenance. But the bulk of the operational work is handled by others, making the income stream largely passive relative to the business's total output.
Okay. Or you could do it with a service business, too.
Yeah. The other example mentioned is something like an automated ads marketing agency. You'd have a high-effort phase up front, finding clients, developing winning campaign strategies, setting up reporting. But once a client is onboarded and the campaign is running.
You could potentially automate the reporting, delegate the campaign monitoring.
Right. You could use software for reporting, maybe hire junior staff or freelancers managed by processes to handle the routine optimization and client communication. The goal is always to replace your direct labor with systems, software, or other people's labor. It requires significant upfront business building and system design skills.
Okay, definitely advanced stuff. Which brings us to the final idea, maybe the most technically demanding. Number 9, building an app or website, SaaS, software as a service.
Yep. And the start difficulty reflects that immediately. A perfect 5 out of 5 stars, the highest barrier to entry.
5 out of 5, why so high?
Because unless you are a skilled software developer yourself, building a robust, secure, and genuinely useful piece of software typically requires significant technical expertise. You need to handle coding, databases, servers, user interface design, security.
Oh.
It's complex.
Or you need money to hire people who can do that.
A lot of money, usually, to hire a good development team. So either you invest years learning to code proficiently yourself, or you invest substantial capital. It's a massive upfront commitment either way. The resource indiehackers.com is mentioned as a good place to see how people navigate this, but yeah, the barrier is steep.
The creator's own example fits this, right? The BMAT Ninja UCAT Ninja sites they built with their brother.
Exactly. They built online question banks and resources for students applying to medical school. A very specific niche, a clear need, solved with a software platform.
And how did that perform financially? Was it an instant success?
Not instant, no. Their numbers illustrate the trajectory. They made about $10,000 in the first year, which is decent, but grew to $25,000 by year 5. It shows the potential for significant recurring revenue, but also that it took years of development, refinement, and marketing to get there.
Okay, so long-term payoff, but high initial workload. Making $100 a month is rated 45 difficulty. Why still so high even after you've built the thing?
Because building an app or website is one thing. Getting people to actually find it, trust it enough to use it, and then crucially, pay for it, especially on a recurring subscription basis, the SaaS model. That's incredibly hard. As the source puts it, it's an entirely different kettle of fish.
Marketing and sales are just as hard as the building.
Often harder, yeah. You have to convince users that your software provides enough ongoing value to be worth a monthly fee in a world full of free or cheaper alternatives.
And the maintenance is rated 35. Why not lower if it's software? Can't it just run itself?
Ah, if only. Software maintenance is never truly finished. That 35 reflects the constant need for updates. Unlike, say, an ebook or even a course, which can be relatively static, software must be maintained.
How so?
You've got bug fixes that crop up, security vulnerabilities that need patching immediately. Operating systems get updated, breaking compatibility. Browsers change. Users demand new features to stay competitive. If you stop actively maintaining and updating your SaaS product, it will eventually become obsolete or broken, and your customers will leave. The income stops.
So it requires continuous, ongoing technical work just to keep it running and relevant. Lower effort than the initial build, maybe, but never zero.
Never zero. It's a commitment. #CasOutro.
Wow. Okay. That's a comprehensive tour of the 9 paths. We've gone all the way from simply investing existing capital in stocks, which is easy to start but needs money,
Right.
all the way up to building complex software businesses, which have the highest barriers but maybe huge scaling potential. If you had to boil it all down, what's the single biggest takeaway from this entire deep dive?
I think the absolute core lesson, echoed across almost all these methods, is that your potential for truly passive income seems directly tied to 2 things: the amount of value you provide up front and the time and effort you invest in creating an asset that can deliver that value without your continuous involvement.
Value and upfront effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the creator's own income breakdown again, that $27,000 a week. Where's the vast majority of it come from?
You said index funds and the online courses, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Index funds represent the leveraging of capital put to work passively. And the online courses, generating over $60 a month, represent the leveraging of expertise and teaching ability, packaged into a digital asset that scales infinitely. Create it once, sell it thousands, potentially millions of times with no extra manufacturing cost.
That's the power of digital leverage. You do the hard work of creating the valuable asset, the course, the ebook, the software once.
Right, that concentrated burst of energy.
And then that asset can, theoretically, generate income from countless people consuming it without you having to repeat the creation labor for each new person.
That's the dream scenario, yeah. Ultimate leverage.
So maybe a final thought, a challenge for everyone listening to mull over.
Yeah.
We've seen that pretty much every method, apart from just investing money you already have, requires you to either build an audience first or build some kind of scalable product or system.
That seems crucial.
So the provocative question to ask yourself is, what unique expertise, skill, or passion do you have right now that you could realistically commit the next, say, 2 years to packaging into some kind of evergreen asset?
Like a really definitive online course.
Yeah.
Or a practical ebook. Or maybe even a simple piece of software solving a niche problem.
Exactly. Something that, once created after that focused 2-year effort, could potentially provide value and generate income for you long after you finish the initial build. Income not directly tied to your time anymore.
That focused 2-year project, building that core asset, that really does seem like the most reliable path towards meaningful financial independence highlighted here. It's not quick, it's not easy, but the potential payoff is freedom.